everyone, welcome to SPN Unscripted Season 2. Today we have with us Mohsin Karovaliya, who is a software engineer at Google. Hi Mohsin, thank you for being on the show today. How are you doing today?
Thanks, April, for having me. I'm doing great.
Let's start hearing something about your academic and professional journey, very briefly up till now, starting from your high school studies, from your undergraduate, graduate, and then all your work experiences so far.
Okay, so to give a brief background, so I have done my bachelor's from India. So I've done bachelor's in computer engineering from University of Mumbai, and I graduated in 2015. And after that, I was working in India at a startup called Book My Show. So I gathered around like 3 years of experience, and that was like very crucial, uh, like foundational phase of my life to build my professional career. So I got to work on like different variety of technologies and different variety of teams. After that, I planned to come for masters, and I did my masters at NC State University in computer science, and I graduated in December 2019. And since then, I've been working at my dream company, which is Google.
Okay, that's really good. Like how early in academic life that you realize you had this love for computer, the software engineering, or was there any specific moment, specific inspiring point that you kind of that sealed the deal for you that okay, I want to be a software engineer?
To be honest, I never wanted to be a software engineer, or even I never wanted to go into computer science. But my interest was in mechanical engineering. Like I was always fond of machines. I was always fond of robots, and that's what I wanted to go. But my one of my cousins and like lifelong mentor who's also in this field, so he recommended me to like consider computer science as one of the options, considering the high demand it has been having. So I just looked up briefly about like computer science and what are the challenges we have to like face in that field. But like when I went through the like brief course structure, I think I kind of liked it because it was more like math and logical oriented. So I just went with my gut feeling, and I just went with the computer science as my career.
Okay, so you are an engineer by chance, not by choice.
By chance, by luck, whatever you can say. Yeah.
No, that's really great. I think that's what happens. Like sometimes you just don't know what to do. It's not in your scope of understanding basically what you like or not like. But as and when
that's
it's uncovered, you just realize that you like it more and you build a career out of it.
that's right. I mean, so like once I stepped into the my bachelor's course, like the first course which I had was like about basic programming in Java language, and that was the very moment that I actually fall in love with this field. Like it's so vast, it's so like dynamic. I mean, it's something which I really like wanted to like pursue, like, and I was very happy with the decision, even though it felt very random. But I think I was pretty lucky, uh, considering the situation I had.
Yeah, maybe that's the point of inspiration that actually seal the deal for you. Like you might enter a computer science by chance, but then you explore more and you realize, okay, this is what I like. This is what I can pursue or live my life with.
Right, right.
Cool. Okay, so let's come down to the situation now. We have this rise of international educational boards in India, like IB board, IGSC boards, and a lot of students after high school they kind of start having these questions in their mind whether they should do their bachelors in India or should they start looking to do bachelors abroad. You personally have done bachelors in India and then have come for the masters abroad. According to you, which of these two options have more value for risk? Like basically, coming here for bachelors is, of course, you're taking a lot of loans, a lot of big financial responsibility, but payoff is also good if you are doing good. Uh, but so is equally a roadmap that is doing a bachelor's there, coming for masters, and if you have good enough projects and work experiences back then, you are still able to make a good living here after doing that. So according to you, which is a good value for risk?
I think that's a very good question, and also like like point out very good like pros and cons list. So like I would say if you are able to like get after 12th, I would say that would be good. Like for example, if you get assistantship or if you get any like scholarship, I think it would be I personally believe that it would be good that you come for bachelor's abroad right after like 12th. It will kind of give you a head start. So like I mean a lot of people like get jobs after doing bachelor's in computer science in US. And plus like besides job, I feel the education system in US is more flexible, as in you can choose whatever courses you want. It's not like very structured and very rigid like it's like how it's back in India. And plus it's more focused on lab work and practicals, which is something which helps you to get like a very like diverse perspective of the field. So that's what I would suggest. But I mean, yeah, there's obviously a financial burden which it comes along with. It's I mean it's very subjective, and you have to weigh both pros and cons, and like where you want to where basically you see yourself after like suppose 5 years or 10 years down the line.
Okay, so basically it comes down to your personal situations as well, right? I would presume what you're trying to say here is both the stories have their pros and cons. You have to evaluate those based on your situations, your financial situations, your whatever ambitions are there, which is what risk can you take basically in life.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so since I think you already pointed this out, and that leads me to my other question is, can you point out a few pros and cons about Indian education system, specifically in computer science engineering field?
So like to begin with, I mean one of the like I'll start with cons first. So one of the cons which I see is that the system is very rigid. I mean you have to like there's no option to select courses of your preference. You have to go with the flow. That's the rule. And the second thing is it's focused very heavily on theory. I mean you have to like kind of even rot learn a lot of subjects to pass the exam, which I personally did not like. And there's very less focus on like lab work and practicals. And but I would say the pros is the people there are like I think the people in at least in my college were amazing. Like they had so much like they already had background in programming and all those things, so they already had like a good head start. And I got to learn a lot of my like programming skills and computer science concepts from the students. So that's one of the thing I really liked about the environment over there, I would say. uh, yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay, so let's talk about the other side. I think you have dealt with both. So, what, according to you, are the pros and cons for the American education system for this particular field?
So I think it's very it's like complementary of what I said about India. I mean, it's more flexible here. You have more focus on practicals. You can choose whatever subject you want to. Plus, the other thing is in US there's much more emphasis on research work. So if that's something which you want to go get into, I think it's better if you like if you get it's better if you get early in the American education system rather than like doing bachelors in India.
Okay, a follow-up question on that. If you were to choose, given everything, if you had a choice, you could come here for bachelor's. Uh, which would be your preference? American education system or Indian education system? Which is more to your liking?
I think in that case, I would definitely come after 12th. I would definitely pursue my bachelor's here in US, considering the system and like uh, all the pros I mentioned before. I mean, yeah, I think that's a very good decision if you can able if you're able to afford it.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Do you have any personal struggle story that you want to share or that comes out of this journey? Um, and also, please include who or what helped you out through that tough phase.
So like first of all, it wasn't like struggle for me to get into like a good engineering colleges in India, but my struggle started after I finished my bachelor's, and that struggle was specifically to get into my master's program. So I had to apply like three times in different schools for three admission cycles, and it was like very challenging and very like disheartening, I would say, to like keep applying again and again, keep giving the GRE exams again and again. It was very disheartening, I would say. But I always wanted to pursue my masters in US, and that very fact kept me motivated. uh, and I was lucky that when I came to US, I had like a lot of support system. So to begin with, the first of all, for financial assistant, I got scholarship from Aga Khan Foundation, and that helped me to reduce a lot of financial burden. Secondly, I had a very good professional network already in US. Like the students who were in my batch, they already like joined like 3 years before me, and they were already working in like big tech companies. So that's how I had like a good professional network. And also, I had my relatives staying in US, which helped me like to get familiar with the country itself. And I would say along the way of my masters, I also met Arushna, where she like really helped me to like be motivated throughout my interview process, and like even getting familiar with the education system in US. So I think those are all the factors which like shaped me as an individual right now, I would say.
Yeah, and since you mentioned, I would like to tell our viewers that coming to US for masters is a long and arduous journey. Of course, as Mohsin mentioned, a lot of things needs to come out right. GRE, TOEFL, your academics and your work experience itself requires a very tailored application documents for any university that you want to apply. And not everybody fortunately gets in for the first time, but the message would be if you have a vision in life, if you really want to come abroad and make a mark, you should not give up, just like Mohsin did. So yeah, I think the message is loud and clear. Just never give up. If you have a vision, just work for it. Now it will quick sooner than later. So that was a good one. A quick. Can you provide a quick list of technical skills that a typical computer engineer would require in today's world?
I would say like the number one thing is logical thinking. I mean, that's the foundational like of the computer science, which comes along with like programming. So like if you think that you are able to like structure your thought in like very logical way, maybe by solving different problems or whatever, I think that's one of the foundational qualities, I would say. Secondly, in terms of like technologies and softwares, I would say you can start with like a basic programming language, which is like uh, Python. It's like very like English like, and it's not just simple, but it's very diverse. I mean, you can you can use Python in like enterprise software applications. You can use in machine learning. You can use in data science. So it's very diverse, and you cannot go wrong with that particular language. Secondly, you can learn more about databases and the distributed system, how in general. So, for example, if you search in browser google.com, like what happens behind the doors, like how the request goes to the servers, and what happens, what's that magic. So basically it's like unboxing the magic which happens in any like a process of a like a software, I would say.
Okay. So the question that comes in my mind right now is, can you briefly describe your today's experience with Google in your current position? How is your work to like day-to-day life right now?
I would say like working at Google was always like first of all my dream, and I mean, you can never go like wrong like working at Google. The environment here is amazing. Like the facilities you get, for example, like the people around you like are always encouraging and motivating you to like to pursue like to push yourself to the next level. Like if for example if you want to like like work on a project which is not defined in your role, your manager will encourage you to do that. So that's something which is very like unique and very different, I would say, which I never experienced it before in my career. uh, Secondly, the perks at Google are amazing, like free food, and you get like a lot of uh, like benefits, like health benefits, 401k, and other things. So that's something which it really helps you to be uh, like to be comfortable in that environment. And I would say another thing I would say is the technology and the tools which software engineers used is like world class, and the engineers at Google are considered as the first class citizens, and people like respect engineers at Google, and it's very engineering driven company. So that's something which I would say about Google specifically.
That's really good. All right. So I would end today's session with that one. Thank you very much, Mohsin, for being with us. And we wish you good luck in your journey. Thank you.
Much for having me.